Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Job Search Strategies for Older Workers. Today, we will be exploring strategies for navigating opportunities and overcoming age-related challenges. Our objective today is to empower older job seekers with practical tips and insights for successful job search. My name is Robin Brown. I am the Regional Workforce Development Director at Vantage Aging. I oversee the Senior Community Service Employment Program for Summit, Medina, and Geauga counties. I've been a part of the team for the past 2 years, providing meaningful employment training opportunities for adults age 55 and older who are seeking to re-enter the workforce. I'm here today with Paige. Paige, would you like to take a moment to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. So, hi, everybody. My name is Paige Blankenship. I'm the Regional Workforce Director for our CSEP program in the Canton area. So, we put those maps on the right for you to let you know a little bit more about our program and the areas we cover. So, I have that purple region in that Northeast Ohio block, and Robin has the blue. We're super excited to be here with you today and share a little more information with you.
Thank you. What is Vantage Aging? Vantage Aging promotes a positive perspective on aging across 38 Ohio counties and 37 Indiana counties. Since 1975, Vantage has been empowering older adults with the skills and confidence they need to reach their career goals. Through the Senior Community Service Employment Program, funded by the Department of Labor, Ohio Department of Aging, and Indiana Department of Workforce Development, we provide paid hands-on training to job seekers 55 and older who are trying to re-enter the workforce. Vantage Aging is a 501c3 nonprofit that also provides home delivered meals, home wellness solutions, and volunteer recruitment and placement throughout Northeast Ohio, with a goal that every older adult has the opportunity to live a healthy life and age with independence, purpose, and dignity. The reality of the situation today. More older adults are returning to the workforce or seeking employment opportunities for the first time. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the labor force among adults aged 75 years and older is projected to surge by 96.5% over the next decade. By 2030, 9.5% of the civilian labor force is expected to be older than 65 years old. Why are older adults returning to the workforce now more than before? And there are many reasons. One being financial, there's a financial need, and we all know the rising prices caused by inflation. Inflation is causing a lot to return to the workforce. Another reason could be a desire to stay active, both mentally and physically. Also, a need to feel productive. There are many social benefits that working brings, and we know that a lot of idle time is not a healthy situation for most. As older job seekers, sometimes finding a job can be a challenge. Today, we'd like to take a look at some of the challenges that older job seekers face. Age bias and stereotypes. Despite several laws in place for older workers, they still face age discrimination. Often it happens during interviews or even when a potential employer is looking at a resume. But one point to remember that in the United States, the primary law that protects job seekers from age discrimination is the Age Discrimination in Employment Act, or the ADEA. The ADEA is a federal law that prohibits employers from discriminating against employees or job applicants who are 40 years of age or older on the basis of age. Another challenge that senior, our older adult job seekers face is the rapid technological advancements. The digital divide and lack of broadband access are barriers for lower income and rural workers developing the skills necessary to succeed in a tech-driven work environment. Older workers will most certainly need to continually refine or learn new skills to remain relevant. Another challenge is the changing job market dynamics. COVID-19 had a profound impact on the job market dynamics. Several key changes have been observed. The pandemic accelerated the adoption of remote work. Companies shifted to remote work models to ensure business opportunities, business continuity, and employee safety. This change influenced job preferences, with many employees now seeking roles that offer flexibility in terms of remote work. The demand for digital skills has surged as businesses accelerated their digital transformation efforts. Employees with strong digital skills are increasingly sought after. 390,000 jobs were added in May. The latest jobs report reflects a Goldilocks labor market, not too hot, not too cool. Having explored a couple of challenges that older adult job seekers often encounter, it's essential to shift our focus towards practical solutions and effective strategies that can make a significant difference in the job search process. By understanding these challenges, we can better equip ourselves with the tools and knowledge needed to navigate the job market successfully. So at this point, we'd like to explore some effective job search strategies that can help empower older job seekers to overcome obstacles and secure meaningful employment. The first strategy that I'd like to talk about today is leveraging experience and skills. Job seekers with a wealth of experience and honed skills bring invaluable assets to the table. The important thing is to always evaluate and know what skills you have and what skills you want or need to improve. Sometimes a complete assessment or complete interest or skills assessment, such as ONET, will provide you with this basic information. After you've taken the skills assessments, it's important to make a list of the skills you have gained from previous experience in the past, and to think about how those skills could be beneficial in the desired job that you'd like to obtain. So it's important to take the time out to evaluate the experience and skills that you've gained over the years. And at this point, I'd like to turn it over to Paige, who will continue talking about various strategies, effective strategies.
Thank you, Robin. So to kind of go along with that last slide about knowing what skills you have, also it's important to think about what skills you want to update and upgrade. We know that no matter how old we are, we always have the opportunity to better ourselves. We always have the opportunity to keep learning and upgrading our skills. Upskilling refers to just that idea of learning additional skills that makes you more competitive for employment. If you have an attitude of learning, an attitude of, I want to know more, I want to do better, that will really set you apart in the job market. Some resources in that middle bullet point. So there are online courses and workshops and certifications that you're able to earn. So LinkedIn Learning is one of them. It is through LinkedIn, the website, but it's actually a service where you can go on and take courses and get certifications through that. And if you have questions about that, please stay on after we're done. We can kind of connect you to that. A lot of times it is through your local library. You can get in there for free. But we'll kind of, based on your individual situation, answer those questions for you. And then also in general, public libraries are a great place to check. A lot of libraries have courses specifically for people 55 and older for technology that's totally free to you. So check in on your local library and what resources they have as well. So a lot of times there's that old phrase, it's not what you know, but who you know. And that's not all the time true, but it's never bad to think about who you do already know in the workforce. There's this idea of the hidden job market. The hidden job market refers to the fact that there might be jobs out there that are never advertised, but they are available through word of mouth, like if you know someone and they can offer you a job. So think about what resources, what connections you have, even if they're friends. And with that, think about mentorship and guidance. So maybe you do know someone who has a job that you want to be doing, but they have that job. Ask if they'd be willing maybe to give you some pointers, some strategies for interviewing. What did they do to get that job? What qualifications do they have? Especially if it's someone you trust, that can be a great resource. Also, it can be uncomfortable, but if you attend job fairs, workshops, networking meetups, that's a great place to meet people if you can put yourself out there and make those connections. Those are a great place to start, especially because those are designed for people who are looking for jobs. So resume is a huge part of finding and looking for a job and securing employment. So Vantage Aging actually put out a workshop just like this one back in October called Resume Writing Tips for Older Adults. That delves deeper into the resume topic, and we definitely encourage that you go watch that if you haven't already. If you go to Vantage Aging's Facebook page, it's under our videos, or if you don't have Facebook, stay on after, we'll kind of connect you to that. But just some quick points for your resume. Try to emphasize your relevant experience and skills, not so much your age. We want to put the focus on what you can do, what you've done, and how that can be applied now. Try to customize your application for different job opportunities. So one resume that you turn in for one job might not be the same that you turn in for another job, such as the resume you turn in for like a retail position might not be the same one you turn in for an administrative position, because the skills they're looking for are different. And then make sure to highlight your achievements, accomplishments, and adaptability in your past experiences. It's kind of your way to show what you've done and brag about yourself a little bit. So a lot of times for older workers are able to be more flexible than younger workers in terms of what hours they're looking for, when they can work. So if that applies to you, definitely take advantage of that, the fact that you can be flexible in what shifts you work. So maybe working just part-time, maybe that's all you want to work, which is totally fine. Maybe you can do afternoon shifts, whereas other people aren't able to do that. That kind of gives you an advantage. The benefits of working part-time, which a lot of older workers do just want to work part-time, less strain on your physical and mental health. You have the ability to still do the other things that you want to be doing with your life. And then there's also the possibility that you can get part-time benefits. It just depends on your employer and what benefits they do offer for people who work part-time. But don't think that just because it's part-time, you won't be eligible for any benefits. And then even if you do eventually want to get on full-time employment, part-time employment can be a gateway into that. If the employer sees that you're serious about it, you have a good work ethic, you're doing a good job, that can really be an opportunity to move into full-time employment. So technology, it isn't always the favorite of everybody, but whether we like it or not, technology is here and it's here to stay. But it's never too late to start learning. Even if you haven't already, it's never too late. you have the ability to learn and adapt to new technologies. Some ways to do that through the LinkedIn Learning I talked about, through your library courses. Seek out those opportunities. Work with a family member even who might be willing to show you how to use some of that technology. There's a lot of times employers are looking for specific proficiencies in certain programs on the computer. So Microsoft Office products like Excel and Word, if you know how to use email, if you know what Windows is, Windows 10 and 11, and also experience with communicating digitally. A lot of times, maybe it's not so much a phone call anymore, it's an email or it's a text. Showing that you know how to do that can really set you apart and put you ahead. So a lot of time, the interview is the first time the employer really gets to see you and get to know you. And if you do get that interview, you want to make sure you're prepared and you've done all you can. So that way it's not your nerves that are getting in the way. You can just show who you are and show what you've done. So a way to do that is to practice those common interview questions, like those behavioral questions, like name a time you've had to work with someone who had a different opinion than you, or, something like that. So practice those. And then also, it can be difficult, especially if you're quieter or maybe more nervous about this, but try to showcase confidence and just enthusiasm and passion for the role. Highlight how Robin talked about before. You want to go through, list what skills you've done, what you have. Highlight how your skills and your experience can contribute to the company's success specifically. And then with that, look at the job description. A lot of times, there will be a job description, and if the skills that are in that description fit you, definitely tell the employer that, tell them why that matches you, and that can also set you apart. So overcoming age bias, that's definitely easier said than done, but there are ways that you can work towards that. So focus on your qualifications and your achievements. It's not about how old you are, it's about what you've done and what you can bring to the table. Showcase how you might be a better candidate for employment. If you do feel like there might be a concern related to your age, it's possible that it would be better to just proactively address that if you feel that's appropriate and you feel comfortable doing that. And at the same time, just be yourself and have that positive attitude, and employers will respond to that. So we don't want to end this without telling you a little bit about some resources and support that are out there for you. So common job search websites online are Indeed.com, Glassdoor, LinkedIn. Those are definitely worthwhile to look at if you are in the job search process. If you have any questions about accessing those, definitely stay on after the presentation and we'll get you where you need to go. But at the same time, there are also still in-person resources for you. So in Ohio, we call them Ohio Means Job Centers. I think in Indiana, they're called Work One American Job Centers or One Stops. But your county should have one. And that agency really exists to help you find employment. So they can teach you how to job search. They can practice interview questions with you. They can help you tailor your resume. They're really great resources that you can just walk in and use those. And if you have questions about where that is in your county, we can help you find that out. At the same time, I've kind of talked about libraries before. Also think about local universities that are in your area. A lot of times libraries and universities will have job fairs where employers who are looking for workers will come, and it's just a chance for you to get to know that employer and for them to get to know you. So definitely research that if you haven't already and you're looking for a job. So just to kind of go through some key takeaways, we've talked about the challenges and opportunities and strategies there are for older job seekers. But the main takeaway is that you can adapt your strategies and leverage your experience to make you more competitive in the job market. If you are proactive and present a positive approach to job searching, that can put you, miles and miles ahead just in your attitude. So that's a great place to start. And then these strategies can kind of help you beyond that. So we want to talk a little bit, Robin referred to it earlier. The program that Robin and I work in is called the Senior Community Service Employment Program. It is a paid training program for people 55 and older who want to re-enter the workforce, but maybe they feel they need some skills. They need to upgrade those skills to get back into the workforce. We have 3 criteria for eligibility. You do have to be 55 or older. You do have to be currently unemployed, and you have to meet the income guidelines. And if you would apply, we would go over those with you to let you know what those are. And you do, so Vantage runs the program specifically in certain Ohio and Indiana counties. If you're not in one of those counties though, you can let us know. We'll kind of connect you with who runs the program in that county. How the training works is that people who apply for the program and are eligible, we place them at local nonprofit or government agencies in your community, and that's where you get your on-the-job training. We have areas like administrative, custodial, food service, customer service. Based on your interest, we try to place you where you would want to be and where you could learn the best. The hope is that you'll take the skills that you're learning and then you'll find a job that matches those skills that in an area that you want to be in. As we said, it is paid. So that's an added benefit to our program if you're interested. And if you are interested in applying, please stay logged in. We'll answer any questions you have about any of the stuff we've talked about. So we just want to thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. And we'd love to take any questions that anybody has.